Members of the jury, I hope you're sitting comfortable. I certainly am in my courtroom chair with my new courtroom mic. I want to talk about crime prevention. Not the ordinary crime prevention, but something a little bit different. I hope you're going to listen to this one. So, step on in, take a pew, and welcome to Don's Courtroom. In Don's Courtroom, we're going to be talking about crime prevention. What is that? It's preventing a crime before it happens. So that's our aim, isn't it? So let's take a few cases over the recent years. Let's take the really recent ones, the big ones. Sorry, I've got to mention it, Jay Slater, and also John George. So if we knew what was going to happen, so say there was a festival, we knew there were going to be some rug sales, and some of the people perhaps had a past, perhaps they were going to get up to no good, little misdemeanors, big misdemeanors. We don't know, but we do know, don't we? We've got people on the ground. So in the same way, we've got terrorist prevention. We can have crime prevention. And it takes money, doesn't it? It costs. So we need these people in place. Now, there are these people on the internet who are employed. Trust me, they work for the MI5. Nothing elaborate. They're not agents or anything as such. Or are they agents? I guess they are in a way. They just snoop the internet. The in-person, let's call them agents, the in-person agents, so they work from mosques, so they go to a regular mosque. They're just asked to spy and to look out for people acting in a very fundamental way, perhaps. Perhaps they're too much, so they're talking about things that they shouldn't. We all know what that is. So why can't we have the same? So we've got informers out there anyway, and they are involved in rugs and other bits and pieces, and they do inform the police. Remember, informants aren't really nasty little rats as such nowadays, are they? Because anyone that gets caught has probably informed on their friends, even if they say that they haven't, their friends or colleagues, work colleagues. They've done that. The big cases, we've got Sammy the Bull. You'd never believe Sammy the Bull would squeal. But he did, didn't he? Because he was offered his freedom. Well, what do you want? 50 years in the can, or do you want your freedom? Now, all you've got to do is put your finger on Mr. Big, so John Gotti, etc. So this happens all the time. Small-time criminals will grass up their friends. We've seen it within the big 60s crimes, haven't we? Very famously. There were more famous people around, actually, famous criminals around than the Krays. But anyway, let's pinpoint those for now. So that case. Don't forget the Krays were willing to dob in all their colleagues and friends. They were going to do that. So they were saying, right, you take that murder that I did, you take that one, you take that one. They were talking to their henchmen. They were expecting their henchmen to take over the crimes for them. So you take the murder for that, you'll get a bit less than me. Perhaps you'll get away with 10 years. I'd get at least 25. You'd only get 10. Can you do that? And I'll see you right, see your family right. And they were like, no way. The ones that didn't squeal, Chris Lamborghini, one of Lamborghini's brothers, did I pronounce that right? Chris, you didn't squeal, but you got about, was it 15-year stretch, 20-year stretch, something like that. So, yeah, whether it pays to squeal, who knows? Some people think that the person who did something wrong, their honour isn't worth defending. I'm quite old school, and I think, no, stay still, but then again, your whole life. And in a crazy situation, if they were going to pinpoint you and say, you take this one, you'd say, no, I'm not going to take that one. So if we look at the John George case, somebody must have known he was going out there. Somebody must have had a text conversation with him to know he was going out there and something wasn't quite right. Somebody must have known. So say you had more people on the ground, more agents on the ground, it would cost, you would have to weigh up the odds to what you're getting out of it. Remember, authorities are targeted, and they have been targeted for a long time. Police are targeted as well, so they need to have results. And they have to pinpoint a certain monetary value to what they're doing. So in this case, perhaps if we could disperse and stop criminal behaviour, stop the drug trade in some way, perhaps it would save us some money and also save the taxpayer money in having that criminal put in prison for years and years and years. Because remember, the money has to come from somewhere. So where does it come from? Where do you think it comes from? Does the government just make up money and have a pot? No, they don't. It comes from taxes normally, some other sources as well, but prisoners don't always talk about it, but they're all pretty much on benefits, aren't they? Really, in the old days, they used to work for their money. Whether they still do, I think they do janiting work in the prisons, but that's for them, isn't it? Really, what do they do? Could they do anything else to work for their keep? Put down in the comments what you think. Whether we need to stop the crime before it happens. Certainly in the Liam Payne case, we can't stop people taking drugs or anything else, but we can see the problems. So crime prevention would be to provide all sorts of psychological backup service, take it out of the very rich pop artists' purse, and they can have all the help they need, but perhaps could they not go into the drug taking in the first place? Perhaps that's the help that they need when they start. So if you've got any ideas, please put down in the comments. Do we want all these extra courtrooms that are costing the taxpayers money? All the extra prisons, prisoners released early? Do we want that? Or do we want to prevent the crime before it happens? I'd like to hear your views. Please like my video if you do, and subscribe, and we can talk about this further. We can try and do our bit to try and prevent crime. Perhaps we could do something online. I don't know. I'll put that one out there for you. I hope this video didn't put too much doom and gloom in your mind. You know that that's not the aim. And I will be making a light-hearted video after this one, just a short one, just to lighten the weight on your mind and not put too much gloom in there in that bonds. And when you do lie that bonds down tonight, remember, don't have any nasty dreams.